I've been having a lot of fun rereading a lot of spiritual texts, and one of my favorites is the Kybalion by the Three Initiates. And in this book, the entire basis of it is for you to understand that everything is mental. And so today I wanted to essentially talk about how when you begin to change yourself, you begin to see everything around you change. That includes people, that includes circumstances. And I made a video the other day about your perception, but I'm going to go even deeper into this because not only is it your perception, but it's your actions that you're taking to work on yourself internally, because as within, so without, everything is mental. And you'll start to see that everything around you begins to change, because one common theme that I've been realizing when talking to people lately is, you know, they're just so concerned about holding on to relationships or holding on to things that are no longer a vibrational match to them. And I'm like, well, if you start doing the work internally, when you start working on yourself, whether that be changing your diet, whether that be exercising, whether that be getting deeper into more spiritual readings or hanging around different people, you start to see that your view of this person or this thing changes because you're working on yourself. You're not focused on external. And I said something the other day that just kind of made everything click for me. I don't know, I wasn't talking to anyone in particular, but I was like, you know what? It's like, it's time to stop waiting for other things and people to change for you to make a change. This happens too when people are like, oh, when this thing happens, I'll do that. Or when I get this, I will go there. Or, give me a few months and I'll finally do that thing. But when you start to take action, that timeline changes. It flips from having to wait for something external outside of you to happen in order for you to feel or change internally. And I'm like bringing up so many deep topics, but touching them ever so lightly. Going deeper into the last thing I just mentioned, you basically have this ability to feel first, feel into what it is that you desire, and by doing that as well, you start to draw it nearer towards you. So all of these have a common theme of when you begin to change, when you begin to feel, when you begin to do the work, when you begin to meditate on what you want to bring about versus focusing on what you don't want or what you don't have, so many beautiful things begin to happen. Life begins to change, you know? And I know it's so much easier said than done, so start small. Start with one minor thing that's been frustrating you, or with one thing that you have been putting off to a future day, or when something happens. Think about that thing and start to actively draw it into your reality. And then watch how much easier it gets to do that with other things. And then watch as, you begin to test the universe and say, okay, let's, since that worked, let's try with something else. Let's go bigger. Go big or go home. And then this is where you start developing your muscle of manifestation and realizing that you can will into your reality through thought, through practice, through meditation, anything that you desire. And so this is the secret. Stop waiting for something outside of you to change. Stop waiting for circumstances to be some illusion of perfect, right? Stop waiting for that, and then you'll begin to see as everything comes into your reality as it should be. I remember my first time watching and reading The Secret, the actual book called The Secret, this book that everybody was talking about, this show, this documentary that everybody was like, you need to watch this thing, The Secret. And I'm like, okay. So I watched The Secret, and I remember feeling so confused by the end of it. Like, what are they even talking about? And it wasn't until I had to experience it firsthand that I understood what they were talking about. And this is exactly it. When you change your perception of something, or when you change the way you view it, and you change the way you act, you operate, you change yourself, your thoughts, and everything that's telling you you can't. When you change that and you work through that, because you can't just suppress it, you have to work through it, you begin to see how the secret is revealed. And so this is probably why at the time I didn't understand what they meant by the secret. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing special. Just something I simply couldn't see at the time because of where I was mentally, where I was personally on my own healing journey. But I'm hoping that this will expedite that for you, because I think my first time ever watching The Secret, I was about maybe 15 years old. I have no idea, but I watched it a really, really long time ago. And I probably watched it a few more times after that, and I still didn't get it. But now I have a really deep understanding of what they meant by this secret. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing impossible. It's simply a shift. And once you start working on yourself and you go within, you start to experience that shift almost instantaneously. That is the secret. The secret is so simple, actually. You know, if you have a desire, if you have a goal, if you have something you want to achieve, what are you doing right now to achieve it? Like in this very moment, as you're watching this video, what are you doing? Think about that. And if you're happy with what you're doing, then keep doing it. Keep going. And if you're not, change it. You have the power to change it. You have the ability to make a choice, to create new habits, to stop consuming certain things that are not helping you get to where you want to go. That is the secret. You have the choice, the power within to change everything, to change your entire life. Stop focusing on someone who is frustrating you or annoying you, or giving all your energy to something that doesn't deserve your energy. This is what we need to work on, and that is simply the secret. When you start to work on yourself, once you start to go within, once you start to recognize that everything is mental, once you start to change your perception and create your reality, you too will see, if you haven't already, that the secret is so simple. And once you begin to do that, you'll recognize that everything and everyone around you will begin to change, because everything is mental. What does this really even mean? This means that you are a microcosm of the whole. What you change within reflects without. And we could get so much deeper into that, but I'll save that for another video. Until next time, guys.